All right, everybody. So we're going to try this again. I just tried this a little bit ago. It didn't work, but I figured out what the problem was. VRIF has done or has had a upgrade that has changed one thing that was throwing me off. And I'll show you what that is real quick and how to change that real quick. First of all, we got a cube to start off with here, something to stand on. We're going to drag an XR rig advanced into the scene from BNG. I'm going to assume that you already have VRIF and Pixel Crush's dialogue system already in your assets and imported if you're watching this. So first thing we're going to do, this is what was throwing me off. Under the input bridge, under the XR rig advanced, it's set for Steam VR and it wasn't working right. And once I switched to XR input, everything seemed to work fine. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and unpack this prefab completely. Let's go to our plugins, Pixel Crushers, dialogue system, prefabs. We're going to bring in the dialogue manager, and then we're also going to go to, let's see, what is it? Standard UI. Going to go to basic, and it's going to be the second one in, I believe. It's the standard dialogue UI. Drag that in. We are going to take that, unpack completely. We're going to get down to our dialogue panel response menu, so that's where we want that. We're going to go into the left hand anchor so we can use our right hand to actually select things. And then so left controller, we're going to do a copy on response menu. We're going to paste that as a child here. And we can go ahead and delete that. So we've got this in here. We just need a couple more things. Under player controller, we need to add a dialogue actor. And let's see, we need to take that and let's see, it's going to be for database, it's going to be the new database, one that I already set up, and it's going to be player, and then we're going to go down to menu panel number, set that to custom, and then we're going to drag our response menu panel in there. Let's see, what else do we need here? We need to go into response menu panel, and we need to add two components. We need our graphic raycaster, and then we've already got the canvas. That brings the canvas in there. World space, I don't believe we need to change anything here. Order in layer, since we want that to be important, we'll just put like a 2. It doesn't really matter as long as it's a higher number than everything else. We just need a couple other little things. So we got that set as a dialogue actor, right? The other thing is, and I think I already added it, but under cube, we need to add a dialogue system trigger. I already have that added. On start, what we're going to use just so we can get this thing going, and then the conversation actor, we want to drag player controller in here. And then under dialogue manager, we need to make sure that our dialogue database, we want to make sure everything's under the right database. However, if I would have been smart and actually assign that initial database in the beginning, I believe that everything else would have just followed suit and been in that database, and we wouldn't have had to change those. So we got all these things here. Now we just need to make it so the response menu panel is going to show up correctly. So we're going to go 200 by 200. We're going to put the Y position at 0.01. And then we're going to take, and we're going to go 0.0015. 0.0015. And let's see where this thing is. All right, so we've got that right there. Let's go just a little bit higher. Not 0.01, 0.1 is what we want. So we want that just a little bit higher than that. So So we got the dialogue manager. It's sending it there. We've got everything. I believe we're going to check this out. Hopefully we got everything set the way we need it. Hello, goodbye, yes. All right, so we got that working. So everything should be good there. So now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kind of show you how I set it up, because this is good and all. But what we have here is we have our menu holder, which is with VRIF. And it is going to have all these kind of neat things on it. You can use it for loads, scene loads and stuff like that. I don't use it for that though. I get rid of all those buttons and add my own. And then I can just do stuff like have a stat check, or maybe even a scene that forces a dialogue with a character. So if I want to like try to have a conversation with the character, even though there's not a dialogue trigger telling them to do it, I can do that, and then maybe ask them a question or whatever, and then depending on variables and all that stuff, it'll tell me, what, it'll give me the options and kind of work within the dialogue. Lost my train of thought there. But the whole thing is, when I pull this up, it's not going to quite be the way I want it to be, because look at how they're kind of offset. So what we want to do is we want to actually decide what angles we want on this. So let's get back in there and kind of look to see how this looks, and then decide if we want like the angle that the response button is on, the response panel, or do we want it the way the menu is. Let's check that out. Because I want to be able to use both at the same time. Yeah, depending on the scene, or if there's something. Okay, so I honestly, something kind of in between, maybe just a slight, but I definitely like the placement of the response menu panel much better than I do this. I don't know what it is, I just do. So we are going to, what we're going to do is we're going to go in, and we're probably, I don't even know if we'll mess with this. Let's go into the menu holder, and let's just, here, let's do it this way. First of all, let's move the response menu panel over a little bit, and then let's take this, we can move it over a little bit, and then we're going to need to should we, maybe this would be smarter. Let's see, they both on transforms, right? Now that's a rect transform. You know what, let's do this maybe? Which one is going to be our best bet? Oh, what is our, this one's got no rotation on it, so do we maybe want to get rid of all rotation on this maybe? And yeah, you know what, we do that. I think that should be kind of nice. Now if we notice, this is way behind that, so let's take this, oops, maybe drag it up. Do we want to maybe, let's take that, pull over just a little bit. I think we can also take that menu holder, Let's just take this right here. Let's go. Let's take that width down to about 800. You know what? Those buttons are maybe independent of it. So let's, instead of doing it this way, let's maybe change the menu holder, and let's take that X and put that at about 0.7. That might do it. Let's kind of look in here and see what we have. Oh, this is another thing. I like to see what my frames per second are. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the FPS text, and we're going to change this to about 60. And we're going to bring it over just a little bit more. Especially when you're kind of developing and you're play testing and stuff like that, it's really nice to be able to see what that FPS is. So I got these things next to each other, 90 frames per second. I can use my menu button to get rid of those. Obviously, all of these buttons down here are going to be changed up. You got that working, so that's using the dialogue. We can get rid of that. And this is kind of cool. Like this looks like the update has just got different gloves. I'm gonna have to check to see what else got changed in the update, because that kind of threw me off just a little bit. But, you know, with any update, there's going to be some things where you're like, oh, shoot, I don't know how to do that anymore. I'm going to have to figure something out. But there's always some really cool things added to it. So I'll have to see what exactly got added to this. But anyways, that's all I got for that. That's how you can, you know, if you're going to do VRIF and you're going to also use the dialogue system for pixel crushers, it's so much more helpful to have your response menu on your wrist. Just kind of there where you know it's going to be instead of kind of floating off in space somewhere. And that's how you do it. All right, everybody have a great day.